standard contract.
So 2 years, if something goes wrong, they'll fix it, but after that, we fix it.
Yeah, yeah.
$24 million, and that's what we get.
Well, yeah, I mean.
Yeah. Thank you.
But on the same token, you buy a new house, brand new house for $350,000, you get 1 year warranty.
Yeah, but we're talking $24 million.
But
that we've already got jacked over before.
Into someone's budget is $24 million.
$24 million is a lot of money to just think about for 2 years, and then the road comes apart.
Mr. Chairman?
Councilman Bzura?
Did you compare this project? Did you say something about Goddard Road? You know, talking about the work that's going to be done to the actual roadway. Did you compare that to a different project that we've recently done when you were speaking earlier?
Goddard Road in front is the same highway mix that's used in front of City Hall, and that's a tight highway mix.
What do we know what we paid for that? I'm still trying to figure out the 24 because I thought we were redoing all the concrete and we're not, so I'm trying to figure out where all the cost is compared to the other road projects that we've done that are similar.
Mr. Chairman, I believe, I don't remember the exact number out in this section of Goddard, but the section between Beach Daily and Telegraph, so in front of the post office, I think that came in just under $2 million, 1.8, 1.9, something like that.
So we're talking about doing something very similar to that on these just under 6 miles.
But you're talking about sidewalk, you're talking about mast arms, and you're talking about base repair and overlay, correct?
Okay.
Is there any other questions?
I just wanted to make sure I had a good understanding of the timing. If we vote to postpone, what does that do to you know, the bond issuance process? I know we're talking about interest rates, but I thought I heard something about March. So what if we voted on this in December versus November? What is the critical timing moving forward with this?
In terms of, I think there's two answers. I'll let Alan answer the construction, and then either Mike or Pat can answer the bond answer.
Thank you.
So, in terms of construction, we're ready to go with the plans. We've designed the project. Our plan was to bid it out mid-December, and that's the ideal time to bid something out for spring construction. So we've talked to all the major players like Ajax, and they're in agreement. That's when they start filling their schedules, and this is going to be a priority project for a big paving company. So our idea is mid-December, we're going to bid it out after Thanksgiving, have a pre-bid meeting after Christmas, and we can have an extended bid period, and they'll have time to look at it, and spring construction. That's our strategy for bidding.
Mr. Chairman, I heard about the possibility of 2 summers. What's going first? What's going second? Is that part of the plan?
Well, it'll have to be 2 summers. I'm in agreement with that. You can try to force a contractor to do it in 1 summer, but prices will be higher when you do that because you're putting constraints on a contractor. To straddle it over 2 years is more practical, even from a traffic standpoint, a maintenance of traffic standpoint. So that's open to discussion. You know, we can have them, you know, the way we were thinking is have them do Part D all at once and then have them do Goddard the second year or vice versa.
So
but
Part D
do one stretch. That way you're not trying to, you know, shift traffic here and there. But the idea is to do like half a Part D and then you do the other half, and then the final lift is both sides together. And you do that for both Goddard and Part D on 2 different construction seasons with good pricing.
I just have one quick question too, and I looked over it and I don't recall seeing that, but in the $24 million, what is a rough breakdown of Goddard as opposed to Part D? Do you know?
Well, yeah, see, Goddard has more lane miles, so it's hard to say. There's actually more lanes, but in terms of length, I think we're talking about roughly less than 3 miles, probably like 2 and a quarter, 2.5 miles for Goddard, and then Pardee's close to 3 miles. So it's, yeah, I mean, I'd have to break it down. You really have to break it down by lane miles.
So 12 towards Pardee and 12 would go to out of the 24 million, roughly 50-50?
It could be. I think Moore's, yeah, just because Goddard has more lanes, basically, it could break down that way.
Somewhere I thought I saw 3.5 miles on Pardee and 2.25
Yeah.
on Goddard, but that's not taking into consideration lane miles. I think it's just distance.
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah. And like the mayor said, our estimates are MDOT very conservative estimates. I'll be very, very surprised if you exceed that 24 million in that bid. Very, very surprised. And contractors, I'm hearing, are hungry right now. So we're going to put it out at the ideal time of year, and now's the time to do it for us.
Any comments relative to the actual bond as far as timing to this gentleman?
Sure. Thank you. Yeah, I would say that for a project like this, the construction timetable is the dog and we're just the tail. So our desire is to time the sale of the bonds for when the cost of the project is known and then have the money available for construction. So we've really been designing this so that if they're looking at bidding after the first of the year, that we're going to be ready to go with the bonds, structure it, determine the sizing, and then go after that. So that's really what's driving the timing on the bonds. It's and the desire is that rates are low, so we want to move quickly. But for a project like this, we want to know we have the bids in hand, know what the cost is before we go out and sell the bonds.
Right. Okay.
So we're really designing the timing of the bond sale to match when we know what the cost of the project is, and then try to get the money as quickly as possible after that.
Thank you.
And the process is normally. The preliminary proceedings take about a month with rating agencies and official statements. Once they get the numbers and we sell bonds, the money's available usually within about 3 weeks. So we can move pretty quickly once we know what the cost and the size of the project is.
Okay.
I think what I'm comfortable in is knowing that, you know, even if this is proceeded tonight, they have to come back and then we'll have the total amount in front of us. You know, what will be, if what we decide on what we want to do, but at least that way we'll have a detailed price and move on from there. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to discuss? Okay, I have a motion by Councilwoman Cross, supported by Councilman Johnson. All those in favor say yes.
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 All opposed say no.
No.
Roll call.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Bzura?
Yes.
Mrs. Pats?
No.
Mr. Ramik?
No.
Mrs. Winton?
Yes.
Mrs. Croft?
Yes.
Mr. Woolley?
Yes. Motion carries. Item 6.10 is a motion to approve the resolution pledging limited tax full faith and credit support to the City of Taylor Brownfield Redevelopment Authority Tax Increment Refunding Bond Series 2020.
Motion.
Support.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilwoman Winton, supported by Councilman Bzura. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chair, could we have someone explain this to our residents?
Yes, thank you. This is a refinancing opportunity to save money on the bonds which were issued by the Brownfield Authority for the Taylor Midtown Basin project. Just to remind everybody, that project really started in 2005. The city issued a couple series of bonds to pay for a variety of infrastructure improvements out there.